Now that I have all the star rings in Windy Hill, I thought I'd do a montage video showing where they all are. So if you ever stuck finding star rings, you can look at this video, check for ones you missed, and then find them in the game. But if you want to find the star rings yourself, I suggest you steer clear and look at something else. So let's start off with the first level. On the first planet, you want to go on the top route and check out the trees. On the second tree, which is next to this wall by the way, you want to parkour up the trunk, then you'll jump off a spring, and you'll get the first star ring. The second star ring is in the section with windmills, so go to the section with windmills and take this automated route. Then jump across the next windmill you see, and then you'll see a bell.
You can tell from playing the demo that you hit this bell enough times, and it turns into a star ring eventually. Okay, that's the second one.
From this point, go on to the next planet you see and go to the windmill at the end. Then climb up one of the fan blades. If you want to save time, you could go on top of the windmill and start at the top, but climbing up one of the fan blades works too. But anyway, if you look around a little bit, one of the fan blades has a platform near the top that has the third star ring. If you continue on the platform right after this windmill, you'll find a section with a lot of fluffy bouncy clouds. Near the end of the section, you'll find two really small fluffy bouncy clouds. If you go to the one closest to the end, you'll find the fourth star ring.
And there's another ring.
For the last star ring, you continue into the last capsule planet, which, by the way, has 3 routes on it. So you take the top route and continue until you get to the rolling cylinder of spikes. Near the end of the cylinder, if you can get there without killing yourself, is the last star ring. And now all that's left to do is just to go to the end and get the capsule, and then you'll be done.
And that's about it for this level and for the first 2 missions.
As for the second level, go to the right to the first windmill you see, because the first star ring is smack in the middle of the windmill. So, theoretically, if you could platform your way to the center of the windmill, the first star ring is yours.
I thought this was actually a death trap, I like a bottomless pit, but still. That's nice to know.
Meanwhile, at the same windmill, go to the right on the platforms on the top route, and lo and behold, the second star ring awaits. Eventually, if you go through the level long enough, you'll see an asteroid wisp, so go ahead and get it. Then transform into the asteroid wisp, and then go to the first loop-de-loop you see, because there's a hole you can go through. And through that hole is the entrance to a room where the third star ring is. In the area right after that loop-de-loop is a part with 2 sheep and a snail. If you can deal with those guys, get on the platform where the 2 sheep are, go on the wall, and then you'll find a star ring trapped between 2 of the blocks. And the 5th star ring isn't too far off from that. You go to the right and go to a platform with 4 orbinauts over it. Get on the platform and see if you can avoid the orbinauts. Once you do, continue on the top platforms and you'll see the last star ring on top of a triangle of other rings. Then there's nothing left but to finish off this guy. And then finish the stage with all the star rings.
Looks like I got the multiple lock achievement after all. I was kind of confused.
Now with the third level, you don't see any star rings until you get past the first tunnel that has boulders. Once you get out of the tunnel, there are these crystal blocks you can break. Breaking them will take you to a room with 3 giant crystals. The first 2 crystals just contain 2 sets of 10 rings, but the last one contains the first star ring. The second one is pretty obvious. If you go far enough in the tunnels, you'll find at the end of one of the tunnels a half cylinder with spikes on it. And you'll notice the cylinder covers a star ring on the right end of the platform. So, if you can avoid the giant cylinder of spikes, go ahead and grab it. Not too far down the road from there's a point where the path splits into 2 parts. If you take the path on the left, you'll find the third star ring in another blue crystal. Meanwhile, if you take the right route, jump on the wall, go to the right, jump on the wall on the right, don't fall off, then go down this hall a little bit. Turn a few corners, you find yet another star ring in a crystal.
Not really concerned with the bigger crystals with the capsules.
Now for the last star ring, continue from either route to the last tunnel in the stage. Once you get far enough, you'll see a bell. Then if you hit it enough times, it'll turn into a star ring. But a word of caution with the bell, you don't want to leave it standing for too long or it's gonna disappear and then you'll have to try the stage again to get the star ring. So, try to hit the bell as quickly as you can and then get the star ring.
Always around the crystals.
Once you get that over with, the capsule's actually not too far away, so go on and get it. So for the last level, you can go on for quite a bit here until you get to a branch of thorns. Then in the shadows you'll see 3 springs, so go ahead and take them and go on the bottom route where you'll see springs, an animal capsule, rings, more rings, sheep, and the first star ring. Now the second star ring you don't see until the 2D section. Eventually you'll get to the point with 3 sunflowers and a 10 ring on top of it. And beyond that point, there's a hole with a star ring above it. So you do have to watch yourself a bit here. Next, if we go to the waterfalls, the 3rd star ring is on the big waterfall. If you wait for long enough, you'll see a log on the far right with the star ring on top of it.
They just break into little balls.
The 4th star ring is another one involving the asteroid
I'll worry
wisp.
about that later.
Like on the second stage, you get the asteroid wisp, use it, then find the first loop-de-loop on the right. Then you'll be taken to a secret room where there's quite a bit of terrain you can destroy, in addition to a whole bunch of rings and the 4th red star ring.
There are certain places with secrets, like the star ring.
Continuing on from where the asteroid wisp is, if you go to a section near the boss, there's a section with 2 windmills, and you want to use the one on the left for this one. If you get on the platforms on one of the windmills properly, it'll launch you up in the air. And if you go on the left windmill and then get launched up into the left, you'll find the last star ring of Windy Hill Zone 4. Then all you have to do is fend off against Zaz, chase him a little bit, then eventually get to the point where you can beat him and then finish the level. But seriously, you do need to finish these levels to keep the star rings because they won't save otherwise. Anyway, once you get all the star rings in Windy Hill, you get, wait for it, the green Chaos Emerald. And if you played Sonic games long enough, you can pretty much guess what's going to happen when you get the rest of the star rings.